So after introducing the UAV application, we can talk about the UAV and how UAV can help SDGs.
So before this, Ruby, can you explain this to us about the SDGs? What's SDGs?
The SDG actually is the 17 goals for sustainable development, which come from our world. And actually, we use UAV to complete this kind of mission. Through the CDIO, we actually have choose some topic for students to think about it. So last year, we used CDIO to cooperate with the UAV and use the water resources. So we use water resources. We let students know more about how the water resources, how precious it is, and also how to get the clear water. Because at that time, people need more clear water, and it's really precious. And we'll think about how to get more clean water, and also through UAV, how can we control the water pollution. So this is the SDG cooperate with UAV and CDIO. And I think this time our topic is the air pollution. Yeah. So we can also use UAV to do the air pollution detecting and monitor. So before that, we can look about the source from air pollution. It includes the industry and energy supply, and also the transport, the waste management, and also the dust, like PM 2.5, and also the agriculture practices, and also the household energy. So it's actually all around our daily life. And how can we monitor that? Nowadays, we use the station to monitor the air quality. And so from this picture, the left one, the unhealthy one, we can know that actually nowadays we often get in the really awful air quality environment.
So the worst one is red, then is the orange one
and
the yellow one. Then in good condition is the green one, right?
Yeah, and also the worstest can also be the purple one.
Oh, the worstest one is the purple one.
Yeah.
It's greater than the red one.
It's greater than the red one. And from the other pictures, we can saw that even though we have the station to monitor our air quality, but we really lack of this station. From this picture, we can saw that the big city, we can only have 4 monitor stations.
That's far from enough.
Yeah, but to set one station actually costs really expensive. So
it's much more than a drone.
Yeah, it's much more than this drone. So it's a problem that we want to solve it. Then, could you think about how could drone help in this kinds of situation?
We can install a air quality monitor on the drones so that we can monitor the air quality anytime and anywhere.
Yes. Actually, I have 2 ideas. First, if the easier one. You can just put the camera on it and then let it go in the sky, and it can monitor that which part and or which company, which factor emits more pollution.
According to the water color.
Yeah.
The color of the water, if they pollute the river, the water will turn into probably red or purple.
Yes. We can use that in the water pollution. And also for the air pollution, we can also see that because the pollution air from the factory, that would be really dark. The color will be really dark. So through the camera, we can easily find out that which factor actually emission the dirty air.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, and another one is what you just said, is using the dust sensor to test that which part is have more awful air. So, for example, this is a drone that with the sensor and can find out that which parts emission more pollution air. So I would like to introduce how it works. We take this sensor for example, because I choose this sensor is because the sensor is easier to get. So if you have a drone and you can buy this sensor online, and then you can make a air pollution monitor by your own self. So from the words is the size of this sensor, and then it can use on PM 2.5 detecting.
Could it installed on the wooden drones?
Yeah, it could. We tried it before, and it works.
Oh, it works.
Yeah, but I just broke it yesterday, so I cannot bring it here. Yeah, and let's see how this sensor works. So it's just like the air get into the sensor, you'll find out through the detecting, you'll find out if there's dust inside. And also, we can decide which kinds of sensor you want. For example, the laser dust sensor, or you want to detect that if the air is clear or not. So you can decide which sensor you want and choose the sensor what you want and put it on the drone. So let's go back to the questions. What can UAV do more? Have you have any idea now?
Like the drone taxi. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Maybe 10 years later, we can have a drone taxi.
Actually, Uber is cooperate with some of the company which produce the UAV, and they're trying to invent it. And
Yeah.
since the first UAV has released for almost a decade, Ruby, what do you think drones can do in next decade?
I think in next decade, drone can do the most of the logistic for us. So we don't have that much logistic truck or logistic boat. We can just receive our products by UAV. So even if we don't need to go to a convenience store.
Yeah, they could make our life much more easier.
Yeah, and what's more is for the environmental monitor, it will be more use about it. So maybe not only for air pollution, water pollution, but also maybe for our plants monitor.
For climate protection,
Yeah,
we could use the drones in many more aspects than
then what we think.
now,
Yeah.
right?
Or even go to the outer space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And today's Ruby has bring us different kinds of drones that their manufacturers made, and Ruby will show about this.
So for this drone, it's called Dragonfly. We use Arduino with this drone, so students can put different sensor on it. It can decide by their own self, so we can use this drone to do the water detecting and also air pollution detecting. And also because from last class, we talked about the coding. So students can use this Dragonfly to learn about coding. Not only coding control the drone, but also coding about how to control the sensor. And for another one, it's just the smaller one. This is butterfly. It cannot have that heavy payload, but yes, it's also made by Arduino. You can just write the code inside and control it. And last but not least, we have a robot fly. Can I get that one? No, that one, yeah.
The smaller.
And smaller one, and also the box. Yes, so this is robot fly, which it's also made by Uden, and it is handmade. Students can DIY by their own self and through the coding to control the robot fly. And for this robot fly, students can use Scratch or any kinds of language that fits Arduino. Yes, and that is quite special because the only difference from robot fly and wing fly is that one is controlled by hand, and robot fly can control by coding. And recently, our wing fly can also add a camera on it. So it can not only just teach students how to fly and how the payload is, but also they can use the camera to monitor and take the picture or take the videos.
Oh, they got different uses.
Yeah.
So it's suitable for children which is
more than 10
years old.
Yeah, and it can be like this. Just show on the picture, it can look like an airplane.
Like they got 4 different kinds of types.
Yeah.
In the same box?
Yeah, in the same box. So in this box, they have one MCU, but many different types of body.
Oh.
So you can decide which kinds of shape it will look like.
You can choose the one you prefer.
Yeah. And then if you want to know more about our products and what our products can bring for students, please find us on arclab.tw. And also, we have our Facebook and Instagram. Please follow us on Instagram and add a like on our Facebook. And also, our arclab.tw, our website, is updating. So please check us website next week again, because we'll bring more new things for you. If you want to know more about our courses, please also get on arclab.tw, our website, to check out what courses we have and what can we bring for you.
Yeah, please check ArcLab for further information. Thank you everyone for joining us today. It's an honor to have Ruby with us. If you have any questions, please leave your questions on Core Lab. And if you can't join us, there's class recording on Core Lab. And see you next time.
See you.